Have you ever stopped to think about why so many reported hauntings seem to occur in familiar places, like our own neighborhoods? I mean, it's easy to imagine creepy old mansions or abandoned asylums being haunted, but what about the house next door? The one with the family that always seems so normal, so relatable? That's what makes these stories so chilling. The people involved are just like us, and the hauntings are happening right under our noses. We've all heard the urban legends about haunted houses, but what about the stories that come from our own neighbors? The ones who claim to have seen, heard, or even felt the presence of something paranormal in their own homes. These stories are often dismissed as mere fantasy, but what if they're true? What if the strange noises, unexplained movements, and eerie feelings are more than just our imaginations playing tricks on us? Imagine waking up in the dead of night to find a shadowy figure standing in your bedroom doorway, or hearing the sound of whispers and footsteps coming from the room above, even though you know you're alone in the house. These are the kinds of experiences that can leave you shaken, and they're often the catalyst for some truly terrifying neighbor ghost stories. There was this one story from a neighborhood in suburban America where a family reported seeing the ghost of an old man in their attic. The strange thing was, the old man was always seen doing mundane tasks, like folding laundry or cooking dinner. It was as if he was trying to relive his past life, even though he was long gone. The family tried to investigate, but they could never find any records of an old man living in their house. It was as if he had simply materialized out of thin air. Another story that sent chills down my spine was from a small town in England, where a woman reported seeing the ghost of a young girl playing in her backyard. The strange thing was, the girl was always seen playing with a ball, but whenever anyone tried to approach her, she would vanish into thin air. It wasn't until later, when the woman did some research, that she discovered a young girl had died in that very same backyard decades earlier. Then there was the story of a couple who reported finding strange symbols etched into their walls. Symbols that seemed to appear out of nowhere. At first, they thought it was just vandalism, but as the symbols continued to appear, they started to notice strange noises and movements around their house. It was as if whatever was doing the etching was trying to communicate with them, but in a language they couldn't understand. But of all the neighbor ghost stories I've heard, there's one that stands out above the rest. It's the story of a family who reported seeing the ghost of a woman in their kitchen. A woman who would always be seen holding a small child. The strange thing was, the family had no idea who the woman or child were, or why they were haunting their kitchen. It wasn't until later, when they discovered an old newspaper article, that they realized the woman and child had died in their house decades earlier. But here's the twist. The family had been experiencing strange occurrences in their kitchen for years, but it wasn't until they discovered the article that they realized the ghostly apparitions were actually trying to communicate with them. You see, the woman was trying to warn them about a gas leak that would eventually kill them, just like it had killed her and her child all those years ago. These stories, and many others like them, leave us with a lasting sense of unease. They make us question what we think we know about the world, and they force us to confront the possibility that there might be more to this life than we can see or touch. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of neighbor ghost stories. If you have a story of your own, be sure to share it in the comments below. And if you're looking for more ghostly encounters, be sure to check out some of our other videos.